In 2019, Joker was released and grossed over $1 billion at the box office. Audiences and critics both loved it, and there was plenty that they missed the first time. Let's check out 21 hidden secrets, references, and Easter eggs in Joker. In the opening shots of the movie, Arthur Fleck, who we'll come later to know much better as the Joker, sits at a mirror and applies his clown makeup. Then there's someone else visible in the scene, but they're hidden. Did you spot who it was? Look again and you can see the caped crusader himself. That's right, Joker's arch nemesis can be seen in the mirror, or at least a very deliberate representation of him, with Batman's iconic pointy-eared mask and glowing white eyes created by the mirror and the lights reflected in it. But there's much more hidden in plain sight in this movie. Not long after, Arthur has his sign stolen and is beaten up by a group of teens. Later, after he's fired for losing that same sign and starts kicking a dumpster in the alley, look closely in the background and you'll spot a Ferris wheel that isn't moving. This is almost guaranteed to be a part of Amusement Mile, which is the same amusement park that the Joker used as his base in the comic book Killing Joke, which the film draws lots of inspiration from. More evidence of this being Amusement Mile comes from deleted scenes, which clearly show that the now shut down park was just blocks away. That's far from the end of the crazy references in this movie, though. Eventually, Arthur begins to wonder if he might secretly be a member of the Wayne family, and he even goes to Wayne Manor to try and meet with the man who might be his father. But instead of Thomas Wayne, he spots someone who might be his brother instead. This is, of course, a young Bruce Wayne who is playing up in a treehouse. But watch the way Bruce gets down from the treehouse. Does it feel familiar to you? This is a direct reference to another Batman, as Bruce spins down the fire pole in the exact same way that Adam West's Batman would go down the bat pole in the 1960s Batman TV show. And there's another iconic Batman character in this same scene that you might have missed. After Arthur speaks with the young Bruce and even performs a magic trick for him, he's confronted by an angry man who just so happens to have a British accent. An Englishman who works for the Wayne family and is very protective of Bruce? That's right, it's none other than Alfred Pennyworth, who would later become Master Bruce's butler, best friend, and even legal guardian. Even though he's never named, the credits confirm that this is in fact Alfred. And as a bit of movie weirdness, the actor who played the young Bruce had another role a couple of years earlier where he also played the younger version of a character. However, in the 2017 film You Were Never Really Here, he didn't play a young Batman, but a younger version of a character named Joe. Who played the older Joe? None other than the Joker himself, Joaquin Phoenix. But there's even more secret information about the Waynes hidden in the film. While the movie is clearly set in the past, it's never made clear when exactly it's supposed to take place. The 70s? The 80s? Well, we finally have an answer. While Gotham City is rioting after the Joker's appearance on the Live with Murray Franklin show, we see the Wayne family leaving a movie theater. Now, most of us know that nothing good ever happens to Bruce's parents when they exit a theater and enter an alley, but take another look at the marquee, and you'll see that the theater is showing two films, Blowout and Zorro the Gay Blade. This means that the movie takes place the same year these movies were released, 1981. And not only is a Zorro movie often what the Waynes saw on the night they were murdered, which might explain Bruce's later obsession with crime fighting in a black mask, but if you look closely you'll also spot a movie poster for Excalibur, which just so happened to be the movie that appeared on the marquee in Batman vs. Superman. And there's even more crazy movie connections. While the Joker movie is basically director Todd Howard's love letter to Martin Scorsese, and specifically two of his movies, Taxi Driver and The King of Comedy, not only is talk show host Murray Franklin played by Robert De Niro, the star of both those movies, but there's tons of direct references too, like how both King of Comedy and The Joker are about delusional stand-up comedians, while Joker and Taxi Driver are both about disturbed loners who have imaginary relationships with women. Arthur's neighbor Sophie even does the same famous gesture that Travis Bickle uses. And there's more insane and insanely good depictions of characters in the movie. Heath Ledger's famous version of the Joker almost made an appearance in the film too, but not in the way you might think. Although it didn't make it into the final cut, the designer of the vehicles in the film revealed that there was a very special Easter egg hidden in one of the final sequences. The ambulance that crashes into the police car was specially designed to look like the Joker, and more specifically, the famous smile he had in The Dark Knight, the same one Arthur creates on his own face near the end of the movie. It's not all famous actors that make hidden appearances in the movie, though. When Arthur is dancing with Penny in their apartment, multiple people are hidden right on screen, the television screen that is, and it's not actually people but their names. If you really squint, you can make out some names that appear as part of the Live with Murray Franklin show credits. These names are actually members of the crew who worked on the film. For the next one, take a closer look at the painting in Arthur's apartment. Not only is this a copy of The Blue Boy, one of the most famous paintings in the world, but it has a connection to another completely different Joker. In Tim Burton's 1989 Batman film, the Joker pays special attention to the same painting when he goes to the art museum. But there's more weird painting secrets in this movie, and this next one is even harder to catch. At Ha-Ha's, the place where Arthur works as a clown for hire, take another look at his painting in the hallway leading to the boss's office. It's tough to see without pausing, but it's a painting of a jester being attacked on all sides by lions. A quick and subtle nod to how Arthur feels, especially as he's about to get fired from his job. Before he gets fired and starts calling himself the Joker, though, Arthur goes by a completely different name when he's dressed as a clown, Carnival. He later comments to his social worker about how strange it is that he recently heard a song featuring that name on the radio. From an earlier draft of the script, we can confirm that that song is My Name is Carnival, which is also making an appearance on the soundtrack later in the film. The song was written by Jackson C. Frank, who himself had a very tragic life and suffered from a host of his own mental health issues, just like Arthur Fleck. And that social worker he's talking to, she's an Easter egg too. Very sharp-eyed viewers will see that the woman assigned to Arthur's case is named Deborah Kane. Not only is this a character who appeared in the novel Batman the Ultimate Evil, but it's also a reference to the officially credited creator of Batman, Bob Kane, who worked with artist Jerry Robinson to create the Joker as well. And if you thought that one was hard to spot, then you definitely missed this next reference to another DC character too. Take a look at the graffiti in the background as Arthur rides the elevator in Arkham State Hospital, which is the film's stand-in for the much better-known Arkham Asylum. Notice anything strange about it? It seems like a random tag on the wall, but both the paint and the punctuation used hint that there might be something more to it. Anytime a question mark can be seen in DC property, there's almost no doubt that it's connected to Edward Nygma, better known as the Riddler. And the fact that it appears in what's essentially Arkham Asylum, the place where the Riddler has been locked up multiple times, makes it much more likely. And there's more Arkham secrets to be discovered. While at the hospital, Arthur learns that the doctor who diagnosed Penny Fleck is named Benjamin Stoner. In the Batman comics, Dr. Stoner is often one of the top doctors at Arkham Asylum, further blending the two locations in the world of the film. This isn't a good sign for Penny either, since he eventually becomes a soldier of chaos, in other words, a bad guy. And speaking of bad guys, as Arthur waits in the dressing room to make his appearance on Live with Murray Franklin, if you look closely, when Murray comes to meet with him, you can see that he's been put in a room number 404. Since no numbers in the comic book and movies are ever unintentional, this is likely a reference to Batman Comic 404, which is the famous Batman Year One written by Frank Miller. And that's not the only easily missed Easter egg in Arthur's dressing room. Take a look at the huge picture of Murray on the back wall. Remind you of anyone? Even Murray can't escape getting his own wide, Joker-like grin in this movie. But there's even more during Arthur's time on Murray's show. Look again at the font used for Live with Murray Franklin. At first glance, it might look like just a standard Art Deco font. This is a very specific one. In fact, it is the exact same one that was used for Batman the Animated Series. And there's still more from Murray's show. You can spot this one if you can read very fast, but it's easier if you pause the scene. You can see that Arthur Fleck's joke book contains a story about a dead body that went unnoticed on the sidewalk with people stepping over it. Later, when Joker is a guest on the Murray Franklin show, he references this exact same story. The club that Arthur performs at is also a very dark and very easily missed Easter egg. The club is called Pogo's, and it's a reference to a real-life killer clown. Pogo is the name that serial killer John Wayne Gacy used when he would dress up as a clown and perform for children. This next one comes from the very end of the movie. As Joker walks down the halls of the asylum, we see text appear on the screen that says "The End." Nothing too strange about that, except that it's the exact same one used in Citizen Kane, a movie that many consider to be the best of all time. And it fits with the Joker's own delusions that he's literally the greatest of all time. I hope you liked the video and learned something new about Joker. Make sure you subscribe to Movie Logic for more daily movie facts, trivia, and Easter eggs.